So good morning, everyone. So today's discussion is about analyze data using Azure Form Recognizer tool. Okay. So first of all, I would like to thank Pune Tech community and the eminent organizer Nandeep and other folks for presenting this topic on the Saturday morning. Okay. So let's get started about this Azure Form Recognizer. Okay. So what are the major objectives what are major key takeaways from will be talking about what are the new enhancement and what are the new improvements. Hello.
We have some kind of a disturbance
Nandip?
from your side, but yeah. I'm not able to hear you clearly, but yeah, probably still
No,
go
just a
ahead.
second. I
Yeah,
will
sure.
because I'm in a hotel accommodation. Just a second.
Yeah, sure. Please take your time.
இந்த நெட் ஒரு பெரிய பிரச்சனை. Hello.
Yeah, it is better now.
Nandip, are you able to hear it now? Yes.
Yes, I can hear you better. Yeah.
So yes. Okay. So what are the major takeaways from this session is Azure Form Recognizer flow and the corresponding operation with respect to pre-built AI model as well as on the custom model front. Okay, so these three will be the major uh, ta- uh, key takeaways. And along with that, I will be showcasing what are the new improvements and enhancement with respect to Azure AI space. Okay, so recent development. Okay, that also I will touch based upon this session. Okay. So the first survey is what we are going to discuss on this is Azure Cognitive Services. Okay. The major chunk or the major beauty of this Azure AI platform, where we will be focusing on the Azure Cognitive Services. Okay, like different categories like language understanding, Q&A maker, speech service, search service, vision services. Okay, so all these services are provided by the Microsoft AI platform community in order to understand the business front in terms of decision making strategies. We used to develop this Azure Cognitive Services. So under the Azure Cognitive Services, the major service we are going to discuss today is Azure Form Recognizer. Okay. The beauty of this Azure Form Recognizer, if I want to automate any workflow, you can make use of this Azure Form Recognizer. Okay. Azure Form Recognizer is from Microsoft Hyperscaler. Same Azure Form Recognizer, it is available in the Google AI as well. The name of that Google AI is Document AI. Okay. And in your AWS, it is AWS Extract. Okay. The same services along with the improvements and enhancements is available. In Azure, it is Azure Form Recognizer. In Google, it is Document AI. And in AWS is Extract. Okay. So what this service ideally does, okay, this service is going to extract the complete documentation from various resources. Okay, what are the various resources in the sense it can be an invoice document, or it can be a PDF document, or it can be any ID card related document, or even it can be a business card document. Okay, these are the various resources where you will be able to extract the data in the form of key value pair. That is the overall intent behind this Azure Form Recognizer. Okay, and this Azure Form Recognizer services using which technologies ideally uses in the sense is a uses machine learning technology where you are going to extract the complete key value pair as well as the table data from different documents. Okay. So what are different documents you'll able to extract from this Azure Form Recognizer tool? Number one, which is invoice document. You'll able to extract data from invoice document, or it can be a receipt document, or it can be a business card, or it can be ID card. Okay. These are the four categories where this Azure Form Recognizer, where your common scenarios which has been retrieved from the automating the process workflow management has been taken place. Okay. And these four services which are available as a pre-built AI services. Okay. All these pre-built AI services is available under the category called it as Azure Form Recognizer. Okay. So let me show you that Azure Form Recognizer in the Azure Portal website. I hope my Azure Portal website is visible to everyone.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it
Right.
is.
So the first one, what we are going to create in the sense, we are going to create a form recognizer service. Okay. So in the palette, I have just typed that service name is form recognizer. Just click this form recognizer service. This form recognizer service is one of the applied AI service, or you can call it as it is one of the AI infusion service. Okay. Just click the button create form recognizer. Afterwards, you have to choose a subscription first. Okay, I am already using MSDN subscription. You may use a pay as you go subscription as well. So whatever the subscription you have, you can choose your subscription. Then I'm creating the resource group now. Okay, so I'm creating the resource group as test RG. And you can choose your respective region. So I have taken the default region as East to US. And you can provide the name of the Azure Form Recognizer. I'm providing customer invoice document. Okay. Afterwards, you have to choose a pricing tier, whether you want a free pricing tier or else you want standard pricing tier. Okay. So for this demo, I'll be using the free pricing tier because it is available ready-madely for me. Okay. So let me use free pricing tier. Okay. Just click the button review plus create. Now it is going to check the complete validation. Just click the button create. Now the Azure Form Recognizer service started deployment. Okay. You can notice that the deployment is started in the panel. And you can notice the status deployment is in progress. So now the progress status is going to become successful in few minutes. Did you notice that Azure Form Recognizer service customer invoice details one it has been created now, the status in the status bar. Okay. So your deployment is completed. Okay. So did we provided any input data to this Azure Form Recognizer tool? No, right? Okay. So
No.
let's provide the input document for that. So for that, I'm going to use that form OCR testing tool. Okay. This is a URL for the form OCR testing tool analysis. Okay. So we are going to use the pre-built model to get the data. Okay. So we are not going to manually or else customizing any data to test it. Instead of that, we'll be using the pre-built model to get the data. Just click the button pre-built model to test the data. And if you notice that in the source data, there are two ways of executing the source data. One input is from the local file. The other you can give it to URL as well. Okay. So I'm going to browse from the local file. Just browse this local file. So I'm going to upload this invoice document. Just open it. Okay. There are two things required from the user form recognizer service. Or in the Azure Form Recognizer service, we need one as the endpoint, the other one is the key. Okay. So already we have created the Azure Form Recognizer service, right? Just click this Azure Form Recognizer service. To be able to identify there is something called as keys and management in the left side panel. Just click that. So in this option, you can use any one of the key. Okay, it can be key 1 or it can be key 2. Okay, any one of the key you can choose it. Just copy this and paste the key in this here. I have pasted the key. The second the details you are recommended is the endpoint. The endpoint is a complete URL where your Azure Form Recognizer service has been created. Just click this, copy this URL and paste under this endpoint. So as we know already, this pre-built AI model, what is the document we have been uploaded now? Which is the invoice document. Okay. Just click the invoice document. Okay. Just click the button run analysis. Okay. I want to extract the date, the due date, balance date, the address, or this complete table related information. Okay. So instead of analyzing each and every field, this is a pre-built AI model where all these particular field which is already trained and tested. Okay, just click the button run analysis. Once you started clicking the run analysis button, you'll be able to extract those data from this invoice document. You'll be able to notice that amount due, your billing address, your billing address recipient, customer name, due date, invoice ID. All those fields you will be able to extract very easily from this tool called this Farm OZR testing tool. Okay. And you'll be able to download the result either in the form of a JSON or either in the form of CSV file. Whatever the data you want to download it, you can download accordingly. Okay. This is one of the example which is part of your pre-built AI model. And what is the other form type you can apply? Okay. The only two key things required from the Azure Form Recognizer tool is one is the endpoint and the second one is the key. Okay. So now I'm going to change. This is a table layout. Okay. You will able to extract the table layout related information from this Azure Form Recognizer tool very easily. The same type of service is available in the Google as well. The name of the service is called as Document AI. Okay. And if it is an Amazon AWS, the name of that particular service is Textract. Okay. Textract is name of the service from AWS where you'll be able to extract the table layout, where you'll be able to extract the data from multiple documents. Okay. And once you run this particular analysis, you can download the result either in the form of a CSV file format or JSON file format. So let me go for the next form type, which is nothing but receipt. Okay. Any billing receipt you want to analyze the data. Again, for the receipt also, we require two information. What are two informations required from the Azure Form Recognizer tool? The endpoint and the key. Okay. The endpoint and the key remains the same. Okay. There is no change on that. But what is the form type we have changed now? Which is receipt we have changed now. Okay. And you can notice in which languages this particular receipt which is available. To the respective country code, your receipt has been available in different languages. Okay. So let me change that source document as receipt. Are you able to see the receipt form? Just I have changed the receipt form.
Yeah.
So what are two information we require from the Azure Form Recognizer tool? What are two information is required?
Endpoint and
key.
Endpoint and the key. Okay, endpoint and the key remains the same. Just run this analysis. So you'll able to extract the details like address. You'll able to extract that item details and the respective price amount and how much quantity you want. Okay. So did we given all those fields, or these fields are already predefined, or it is already pre-trained?
Pre-trained.
They are pre-trained. Okay. And you'll able to notice the confidence rate for each and every field. Okay. And the same thing you'll able to download in any one of the format. It can be a JSON format, or it can be in terms of your CSV file format. You'll able to download this particular data. Okay. Similarly, what is the other form type where you are pre-built AI model we can train? We'll able to extract that job title, the particular person name. This particular person is working for what, which organization? What is his mobile number? What is his personal mail ID? What is his business mail ID? So those details also we will able to extract using the form type called as business card. Okay. So I'm going to choose a business card. Okay. Let me change the input type as. Okay, let me change the input type as. Just a second. Let me change it. So what is the input time I have changed now? We have changed the input type as business card, right?
Business card.
Okay. And the business card also you'll able to notice the different types of region, country code will be available. Okay. If I want to extract this particular person name and the respective job title and what is the designation he holds, what is his mobile number, telephone number, fax details, what is his email ID, what is the respective URL, which organization is working for, those details you'll able to extract using which form type? The business.
Business card.
Business card.
Again, we need two information. What are two information we require from the Azure Form Recognizer tool?
Endpoint and key.
Endpoint and key.
Endpoint and the API key.
Endpoint and the key.
I hope any questions you raised, Nandip?
No, miss, there is just one question. Like, is this different from data model in Power Platform or Project Cortex?
Yes, it is different from the Power Platform. Is true. It is not the same. It is different. So let me show one example related to the custom model. Okay. Then they have a proper clarity. What does the custom model differs with the pre-trained AI model? Because these fields are already pre-trained, no need to do any detailing on those fields. But when you go for the custom model, I want to only the organization name, or else I want only the particular person name. Okay. Each and every field we have to tag it separately. We have to train that. That is related to the custom model. Okay. So before going to the custom model, let me complete this pre-built AI model first. The last type of this pre-built AI model is the ID. Okay. So I'm going to use the ID, which is that driving license. Okay. So from my driving license, you want to extract that the driving license card number, the driver license card name, different fields you want to extract it. Like what is the name, what is the age, sex, and what is this respective address. Okay. So those details, if you want to extract it, we can go for the form type as ID. Okay. I'm going to run this analysis. So again, from the Azure Form Recognizer window, we need the endpoint as well as the key. Okay, that remains the same. I just change the input source type alone. Okay, let me run this analysis. Like is able to see that extracted values, address, country, region, date of birth, date of expiration, document number, first name, last name, region, and what type of gender he is. Again, the prediction results will able to download in two format. It can be a JSON format or it can be a CSV file format. Okay. So all these pre-built AI type, which is applicable for how many form types is 4 form types: invoice, receipt, business card, and ID. Okay. So the only two information which is we require from the form recognizer tool. What are two information which is required from the form recognizer tool?
Endpoint and
Endpoint and API key.
Endpoint and the API key, right? That's fine. For example, let me show some sample data. So from this sample data, I want this organization name and what is the charges for this particular invoice document. Okay. Likewise, I want to upload some set of input files. So we are going to train those data. So once the data has been trained, we'll be able to test it using the custom model. So for that, what we are going to do is we will be using the custom train model. Okay. So as of now, we are done which model?
pre-built AI model.
Pre-built AI model. Okay. Let's move on to the custom model. So the custom model flow is already we have created the Azure Form Recognizer, right? What is the name of the Azure Form Recognizer service?
Customer
Customer
invoice
invoice
and
details one. Okay, that is your Azure Form Recognizer name. Okay. So two things we are going to create right now. One is the storage account because we need the input, right? For the custom AI train model. Okay. Just click the button service called as storage account. I'm typing storage account. Okay, right now it's an empty storage. Create storage account. First, we have to choose the subscription. So subscription is chosen already. So I'm going to use the existing resource group, which is test.rg. Just give test.rg. And we have to provide the storage account name. Okay. So I'm saying customer invoice. And store is already there. Okay. Customer invoice storage account. So I'll provide that region. So region is chosen. So I'm going to use a standard account. That is standard account performance. And what type of redundancy I want to choose, I will be choosing the geo-redundant storage. Okay. Just click the button, review and create. Some validation is failed. Okay, just a second. I change the name. Just the validation is passed and started deployment. Now the deployment is in progress. In a minute time, it will become successful. Okay. The deployment is completed. Go to the resource. Okay. So you can notice something called as container. Okay. Just click the container. So we are going to create a container. Okay. Click the plus button. So I'm going to train the data. Okay. So my container name is train. Okay. Let's upload the data. Okay. There is a button, upload button. Just click the upload button. So you are going to create a blob storage. So how many invoices I'm going to upload? Let me upload 5 invoices. So how many input we have uploaded right now? 5, right? Okay. Once it is done, you have to create a shared access token for this. So let me create the shared access token. Click the shared access token. In the shared access token, there is a button, if you notice, generate access, shared access token and URL. Just click this. So before that, you have to give the permissions, what permissions you want for this SAS token. Okay. So I'm going to give all permissions. Read permission, add permission, create permission, write, delete, list, immutable storage. So all the permissions I have selected. So and you can notice this SAS token expiry, start date, start time, and end time, expiry time. Okay. And you can change according to the requirement. Okay. I'm using as it is. And click the button, generate SAS token URL. Then after this, go to the home button where you have created a storage account, right? So now you have to do one more step. The step is nothing but you have to provide the resource sharing, which is cross. So click cross. So what type of service are you going to allow? You are going to allow the blob services. Okay. So I'm going to allow all type of origin star. And how many methods are you going to allow? I'm going to allow all these methods: get method, delete method, head method, post method options, put patch. All the headers I'm going to allow. And I'm going to expose all the headers star mark. And what is the maximum age? You can give any number. So I can 255. Okay. So my resource sharing is done. Okay. For your blob storage, you have to create a resource sharing. For your container, you have to create a shared access signature token. Okay. Once it is completed, go to the form OCR testing tool. They notice something called use custom train model to get the labels. Click this button. I'm going to create a new project. New project. You can give any name. And the next one is from the form recognizer, we need the URI. URI is nothing but the endpoint. Okay. What is the endpoint of your form recognizer? Just copy paste that. Go to form recognizer. Endpoint. Where is that? Copy this endpoint. Paste it. You have to copy the key as well. Done. Afterwards, you have to create a new connection. And you, in your blob storage, we have to pass the SAS token URL. Okay. So SAS token will be available for the storage account. In the storage account, you can notice your SAS token. Copy the SAS token. Save this connection. So you can choose the connection as customer connection. Okay, that's it. Save this. Okay. I have to choose all permissions. Okay, let me create a new action. So we got the document right now. So how many training document we have is 5 training documents we have. Now it is running the layout. Okay, let's create a tag. So I need in each and every file, I need the company name and the respective charges. Company name. So I'm tagging each and every document company name, and one more thing I want is charges. I want to extract these 2 fields alone. Okay. So similarly, so for each and every document, I'm going to extract company name. Then I'm going to extract the charges. So in the pre-built model, it will be displayed automatically each and every field. Okay, this is custom train model. Okay. In custom train model, based upon your customization of the respective fields, you can do that. So I'm tagging only the company name and the charges. Okay, because I want those documents from all these training documents. Okay, click charges. So all the 5 documents has been tagged now. Okay. So once it is tagged, what we are supposed to do, the next step is we have to provide the model name. Okay, I'm providing the model name as customer retail model. You can give any model name, train. So we have trained that 2 tags. One is company name tag we have trained. The other tag is nothing but charges we have trained it. Okay. And if you want to download the JSON file format, you can download that. So we have done the training part now. Let's test this document. Okay. So I'm going to test it. Click the run analysis button. Will you able to notice that company name charges automatically? Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Similarly, if you want to check with other test data also, you can check that. Because while doing training, only we have trained how many fields? 2 fields. One is the company name we have trained it. The other is on the charges we have trained it. Okay. So this is with respect to your custom model. So in custom model, 2 important things you have to notice, that is you have to give the permission for all your respective storage account. In the storage account, you have to give that resource sharing permission. And in the container, you have to create a shared access token. Okay. So those two detailings are required from the storage account. And from the Azure Form Recognizer, you need the API key and you need the endpoint. Okay. So those four information, we have to feed it in our FOTT tool, which is a Form OCR testing tool, and we'll able to train and test any type of custom model. And if you want to download it, you can download the respective JSON format or CSV file. Okay. So this is there in the current Azure AI platform field. Okay. Suppose there is some of the improvements which are related to this Azure Form Recognizer tool is. Suppose some of the customer is looking to train some set of documents related to the PAN card. Okay. So I want to change, I want to extract the signature from each and every PAN card. Okay. Will this FOTT tool supports this? Answer is no. FOTT tool is not supporting any signature detection. Okay, you can notice there is a signature detection available, right? I want to detect this particular signature from the training data, and I have to provide some test data to test this. For this, there is a new advancement with related to this documented automated document processing tool called as Azure Form Recognizer Studio. Okay. Azure Form Recognizer Studio is one of the advancement related to this Azure Form services, okay, where you will able to extract signature as well. Earlier, which is not possible to detect any signature. Now it is possible to detect signature from the respective document as well. Let me show that. So before that, any questions you got, Nandi?
No, miss, at least there are no further questions in the chat window. Yeah, please continue.
Okay. I hope my form recognizes studio is visible.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Yes.
So what is the new advancement related to this Azure Form Recognizer services spaces? Okay. Already we have created the Form Recognizer tool. That's fine. Okay. Let me create one more storage account. Okay. So same subscription chosen and same resource group. Let us provide customer detect signature. That's it. The deployment started progressing now. So in a minute time, the deployment will be successful. So what we are trying to detect now is we are trying to extract name, father's name, date of birth, PAN card number, along with the signature. Okay. This signature detection was not available in the FOTT tool, but it is possible from Azure Recognizer Studio. Now, this Azure Recognizer Studio is in the preview mode. It is not publicly available. It is in the preview mode. Okay, the deployment is completed now. Same thing, first step, we have to create a container. Okay, let's create a container first. So I'm creating a container, train data. Upload the files. So this time I'm going to upload the PAN card. Okay. So I have uploaded 5 PAN cards. Hope you guys are able to notice that. Then the second step, what you're supposed to do is you have to provide the resource sharing for the storage account. Okay. Let's create the resource sharing for the storage account. So I'm going to allow all the origin star. Okay. And all these methods, all HTTP methods, I'm allowed all the HTTP methods. All headers are loaded, all exposed headers are loaded, and you can provide the maximum age. Okay, save this. So the cards rules has been saved. Go to the container again. Click this container. You have to create the SAS token for this. Okay. Provide all permissions. Provided. Okay. And generate SAS token. This is done. After this, go to the Form Recognizer Studio. Be able to notice something called custom form. Click this. In the custom form, you will create a new project. I'm going to create a new project. Let's say customer PAN detection. Continue. You have to choose the subscription. You have to choose the resource group. And you have to provide the Azure Form Recognizer service provided. Continue. Subscription, resource group, storage account. Okay, what is the storage account name is customer direct signature. Train data. Continue. Create the project. So all your 5 PAN cards will be displayed in the layout. Will you able to see the PAN card details displayed in the layout?
Yes.
Okay. So signature detection, which is not available in the Azure Form OCR testing tool, which is available from Form Recognizer Studio. Okay, this is not available public preview. It is still in the preview mode only. So what we are going to do now is we will train some 5 fields. Okay, let's say fields. Okay. I'm saying person name. Let's say date of birth. Other's name. And number. And you can notice something called a signature tab. Okay, click the signature tab, customer signature. So let's say person name first. Okay. So I'm going to detect the date of birth. Okay, let's say date of birth. I will detect the father's name. Okay, let me detect the PAN number. Then, if you notice something called as customer signature, click this. And you'll notice there's a region symbol. Okay, you have to track this. Okay, exactly, you have to track this position. This is nothing but signature detection. Okay, this particular option is not available in the FOTT. Let's train the second PAN card. Just say father's name, date of birth. So I'm doing all these fields. Okay. Once it is done, just train this. You can give the model name. So these are the major enhancement related to this PAN card detection in terms of this Azure Form Recognizer space. Just test this model. Let's add the data. So I just test one PAN card. It is going to detect that person name, your date of birth, father's name, then PAN card number, and your signature detection. So meanwhile, any questions, Nandit?
Yeah, there is one question like if Azure Form Recognizer is not able to detect a particular symbol, in that case, how can we train that?
No, FOTT now it's going to be deprecated in another 1 month's time. Okay. So once this Azure Form Recognizer Studio will be available for the public preview, so no need for FOTT. So whatever we'll able to do in FOTT, the same thing we can perform in the Azure Recognizer Studio itself. That's the beauty of this Azure Form Recognizer Studio. So including all invoices, receipt, business card, identity documents, all the things are possible in the Form Recognizer Studio itself. No need for FOTT. There's a
Okay,
newer space in our Azure AI space. Any other questions, Nandi?
Meanwhile, another question: do we have to do manual training for all the inputs?
Answer is yes. At least for 5 documents, you have to manually train in any of the signature detection. And the testing part, you can give any number of load. That's not a problem. Minimum 5 documents, you have to train it. Anything else?
Let's
Uh,
assume that we are having a PDF file and we have to extract key phrases from the PDF. In the sense, what is the content of the PDF? So how are we going to do that? Is it the same steps that you've shown for these documents?
Same, true.
It's a text
Same,
extraction.
same. Same steps only. There is no change on that. Compared to FOTTT, Azure Form Recognizer Studio is very easy to use.
What if the like our motive is to extract the table from the PDF, not only the text?
Table also it is possible to extract. There is something called as table layout is available.
Yeah, but that's what my question was previously. Like in that, one of the table entry is a field which is not recognized by Azure Form Recognizer. So in that case, how can I improve? Like, how can we make sure
The
that it
only
is
one thing you have to improve the model through your custom-based code, either in your Python code or else in any SDK code, you have to modify that.
the base code? You say?
Yeah, the base code.
Okay.
So the mandate knowledge is required as Python knowledge is required, and the respective API is also required. Suppose if one of the table layout is not fitting well, you can do improvisation in terms of coding part.
Which means custom training only, right? You mean?
Yes, custom training model, correct.
Okay.
So these are the things are related to the Azure Form Recognizer Studio research space. Okay, so I'll be happy to give you more on this in the upcoming meetups. Over to you, Nandi.